We've been having a good time in the studio at the background here. Okay, welcome back. It's still the press. It's still KAFTAN Television. I'm still Mikki, Attah, and today is a special edition of the press. Okay, like you know, it's May 27/May 29. This week has been loaded. Anyway, the focus here now is on the children and on the youth, not on we oldies. So, during the week, I must tell you that the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Dr. Abbas Tajuddin, stepped aside momentarily and gave over his seat to a shadow speaker. Yes, that was Lawal Haruna Saliu. Lawal Haruna Saliu, that's him on the screen there. Oh, he's even speaking. He's in government secondary school in Kuje. So he was handed over the gavel along with his classmates. About 10 of them from his school, 10 from other schools, and they had like a mock parliament. So he was like the shadow speaker for a day, and that was how that was celebrated. Okay, you can see all of them with some other House of Representatives members as well. Those are the people from his school are the ones in blue and white. Then the others from other schools, about 10. Right. So that was how they had a mock parliament to mark the Children's Day over right at the right at the National Assembly itself. My goodness. So there we have him hitting the gavel. Very nice one. So guess what? We are going to take a leaf from Speaker Abbas. In the studio today, I have my parliamentarians, my young parliamentarians. Let me start from my extreme right. I have with me Prince Ezeabata Chibuzor. Honorable Prince, you are welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us this morning. He is the Executive Director of Purposefort at his young age. He's also actually a lawyer. We also have in our midst Honorable Favour Oleke. Yes, Honorable, you are very welcome.
Thanks for having me on the show.
Okay, well, Honorable Favour actually she's a fresh extract from NYSC, so she's going to be telling us a little bit about her National Youth Service core experiences in the course of the program. But right now, I am going to be overruled in everything, so all I'm going to do is I hand over the gavel, I hand over the mace. Madam Speaker, you are welcome to the press parliament this morning. So, it's your show today.
Yeah, it's my show.
Yeah, the Nigerians have neglected the children and the youths for too long, but today you'll talk all about it. Okay, let me see what you're going to do. Anything that we now decide on, we will ask. Do the eyes have it? If the nose have it, you just give it to us when we come to the conclusion of our talking. All right, so let's be serious. The House is now in session. Right, I think I'm going to start with my Honorable Prince. Honorable Prince, I want you to, okay, just let's take it right from the topic itself. The role of the youths, the role of the government, the role of parents in shaping the future, as they call the youths, the future of the country. Let's have your take on that.
All right, good morning. So, it's a tripartite responsibility.
Good morning, Madam Speaker.
Good morning.
Good morning, Madam Speaker.
Right.
Yeah, good morning, Madam Speaker. So, it's a tripartite responsibility. We have the parents, we have the youth, and then we have the government. So, we have to marry ourselves. We can't do it individually. We have to come together. First of all, we must understand that, well, we are functioning well individually, but then at the same time, together. So, the government has a responsibility to play. The young persons have a role to play, and then the parents have a role to shape the ideals of their children. As parents, of course, the family is the first institution of the society, and as parents, their responsibility is to ensure that civic engagement, civic rights, and civic responsibility of their children are being taught to them right from the home. And it also extends somewhat to the teachers. Then the youth as well must also understand that of course, this is a society with peculiar challenges, peculiar situationships, and so we must as youths, we must build ourselves and get ourselves ready to take over from the government, in quote and unquote, who are currently in power. And the government themselves understand that the country is made up over, well, two-thirds of the country is made up by the youths, young persons. Therefore, they must have an inclusive governance, have an inclusive policy that involves the youths, the young adult, and even the children. That for me is my take on that.
Okay, but you said something about that the youths have to build themselves.
Yes.
The youths building themselves, aren't they going to have some building blocks to get built? Like I'm talking about the role, you know, of the government. For instance, we look at countries like China, look at countries like America. Somebody was even talking about Japan after having an atomic bomb explosion. Yeah. The government was very deliberate about building their future, talking about everything was channeled into the children. Do you see a sense of that in Nigeria? And if yes, tell us why. If not, tell us what needs to be done. 3 questions in one.
Yes. So it is not an entire question, and the answer is not entirely yes, and it's also not entirely true.
All right.
It's a half yes and half true, and this is because yes, the government is doing quite a number of things to ensure that the youth are being built. Yes, we have schools, although some may argue that the schools are not quite enough, but then of course there are schools. The school, there is in some states of the federation, they have low subsidy for education and school fees. That's correct. So the government is doing quite a number of things in that aspect. However, it is not enough, because beyond going to school, the question is, are they really educated? I mean, the students, are they really educated? Is the school the curriculum, is it up to the current world data? Is it up to the current need that the world needs? If yes, which I doubt, if no, then there's a need for the government to include more courses, more curriculum, more subject to the curriculum for students and for youths to get themselves learned in how the world really matters. And then that's one. All right, so let's go down to the fact that it's not enough, and then that behoves on the youth themselves to understand that you need to educate yourself. Right, you need to educate yourself on how the world works, how government works, and unfortunately most young persons are not really educated on how the world works. So as young persons, as youths, you must build yourself. You must understand policy, you must understand governance, you must understand AI, which is the current traded issue now in the global affairs. You must understand AI, you must understand government, economics. These are key and pertinent subjects that a young person must key into and be abreast with.
Okay, Madam Speaker, I saw you shake your head, so I'm thinking, do you really agree with him that the government has done so much, and that there are many states have done so much subvention, and subvention in education and all that? What's your assessment? You may even start from, your state, maybe to the Federal Capital Territory.
Wow. Well, I partially agree with him. He talked about they have provided so many things for the youth. Then my question to him is, what's the essence of going to school when there will be no jobs? Because nowadays some youth, they are being discouraged from going to school because their slogan is after school, what next? After school, what next? So to me, yes, they have quite done a lot, but let me just use my state as an example. In my state now, there are some, if you go to some schools now, they'll see buildings that
What state is this?
Abia State.
Okay.
Although our governor, he's trying, like I'll give it to him, he's trying. But if you go to some schools in my state, you see some leaking roofs, some schools that's not that. Okay, when it comes to those people that are even doing science, you don't have any well-equipped laboratory for it. Well, so how do we, how do we say, Jesus, I don't even know what to say, but I just want to say that I disagree with you on that, sir. Really, just I disagree with you on that because I disagree with you on that, sir, because I don't know about your state or the thing, but talking about from my own experience, if you should go to some school, you see people standing outside because they don't have well-equipped classroom, well-equipped materials for people that are studying chemistry, physics, biology, and all that, and they'll be paying amount of money for school fees. Yet nothing is being done. and some will still be outside learning, why they can't even provide a conducive environment for them
learning.
Okay, yes. You see, low or lack of education is one of the peculiar challenges of third world natives and third world nations, which of course Nigeria is among third world nations, and we as Nigerians are of course third world natives. So lack of education and low education is amongst one of our peculiar challenges, and it's not only Nigeria. Of course, we have even in Sudan, all right, in Mali, in Chad, in Niger, in Benin Republic, there is this categorized problem of low or lack of education. So even beyond the education, the quality of education too is also low. Even those that are able to go to school, the quality is quite low. It is not the prerequisite experience they need to have to really equate themselves with the first world. I mean, with the 21st century dynamics. So it's low.
So are you trying to say that the government, they have tried? Like, I want to get your point, sir.
Yeah. The point is that the education system, yes, quite okay, but it is not enough. All right, it is not enough.
So you're saying the education system is quite okay?
It is okay, but it's not enough. Yeah, it's okay, but it's not enough. Yes.
Right.
While I say it's okay, is because yes, of course, some schools, some part of Nigeria, the school system is low, but we can't divorce the fact that in some in FCT, we're quite okay. Quite okay.
In some areas,
yeah, quite okay.
In all areas,
and
some areas.
Yeah, and to add to that, the teachers are doing well, but it's not enough. Like I said, it's not enough.
Okay.
We said teachers are doing well.
Yes.
Yeah. Can we have an idea of doings that are well?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Yes. For instance, the speaker, that's the young boy, Lawal, from a government school. Am I correct?
Yeah.
The government school. Yes. I remember when I was in government school, in my secondary school, my school, which I also represented my school to our national competition in the Chinese embassy. So what I mean is that in terms of extracurricular affairs, I know government schools are doing quite well. They are doing well in terms of excursion, in terms of engagement. They are doing well, but it's not still enough. It's not still enough. Like, and what I mean is not enough. Remuneration is poor. It's poor. The standards is poor, but the teachers themselves, they're trying their best, but it's not enough. The government needs to encourage them better.
Okay, so what do you have to say about what I said earlier, that there are some schools where there's no enough equipment for their how will I put it?
Labs.
For their experiments. When it comes to chemistry, physics, you see that some schools, they lack that.
Yes.
They don't have enough equipment for that. So what do you have to say about it?
Yeah, you see, based on our constitution, chapter 2 of our constitution provides explicitly that the government has a responsibility to provide education for its citizens. So then that is for the government. That's the call for the government to take up, to provide these things. I mean, these are basic amenities. The right to education is paramount for a child. It's necessary for a child, particularly if you are intentional about building tomorrow. You must educate your child. You must invest in the childhood of the society and the country.
Yes, I quite agree with you that government schools, they are trying. But when you see in a government school, to me, I will not advise, I will not even put my word or child in a government school. You know why? Because when it comes to strike, I give it up to them. And when you're not paying their teachers their salary, it will make them not to come to school, as when they'll be like, they have not paid them, so what am I coming to school to do? So yes, government schools are trying, but to me, I think the government, they should do better, like much more better than, I agree that they are trying, but they should do better than this, because they have a lot of things to do. They have a lot of work that they should do.
Madam Speaker, hand raised for
Okay,
can I have it? Go ahead.
Yes, ma'am.
Because I have some former colleagues, and this was the same way. They had all this hype about all the improvement in the government school. Sometimes a lot of it is propaganda, So they used to live in Cameroon, and they said, okay, well, they're going to put their child into the government school. And he said His daughter would go all, all nice, sweetly dressed up in the morning to school and come back with her uniform completely dirtied out. What did you do in school today? What did the teacher come? Blank.
And they'll see them more like they'll say, since we are not doing anything, they'll go to the field, manual labor to go and do that. Like they'll not teach them.
The ones were too young for manual labor, so they spent the whole day playing, dirtying their uniform. So he just withdrew them real fast. They spent like a couple of days in the school. And it was like, what? You understand?
Yes.
And this is a recurrent decimal. It's not in one state, it's not in another state. It's across board. So what is there, I want to just chip in, is the fact that the United Nations, to which we are a member country, has already set a template for all countries of the world, especially their members, that this is the budgetary minimum for education for every country. Nigeria doesn't meet it. So Nigeria can spend, blowout on National Assembly. They can spend blowout on defense. And when it comes to education, budget, we don't meet the United Nations minimum. Now, in the midst of this, you now clamp in corruption. So even if money was to be allocated for it, you take somebody and give him the contract to do the re-roofing, and you share the money and to do it, all sorts of things. So we have, recurrent videos. You look at Delta State, there's 2 students with their feet inside water to learn. You turn to the north, the students are out in the breeze. I mean, so I am just appealing to you, ma'am. Maybe you move a motion. No, you're the one to move, Madam Speaker. That's government funding for education. Please, over to you.
I moved your motion that
before the motion, Madam Speaker, please hand up on the floor. Thank you for the concession. I'm not part of it. Please, if you're a viewer right now, let me tell you, we're almost getting to the top of the hour. Yeah, we have like 8 more minutes of this discussion. At the top of the hour, the numbers will come on. You too will be a part. You can engage our honorable members here, including the speaker. So just stay with us, and you will be a part of us. Sure. We will still do that. Okay, Madam Speaker.
I'm moving the motion that the government should allocate funds for it. Not every time they'll be like there's no money, but they have money to do other stuff. The other thing, like maybe
money. You're not the one to move it to. I forgot to.
I'm going to.
You will now accept the motion. So let me move it.
Okay.
Let it be. Okay.
Floor cannot move now. He'll move.
Okay, I move a motion. Yes. I move a motion for the government to take education more seriously, to invest more in education, to invest more and allocate more funds.
I feel like they're leaking classroom. Thank you.
Yes, to education in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Ask, did this have it? Did that have it? Madam? No, Renee's have it and I's have it. You are here now.
Yeah, I support him. Like the government should allocate funds and do well. Thank you, ma'am.
Do the maize have it? Ask now. Ask first. Do the maize have it or the eyes have it?
Do they have it? Do they know or do the eyes have it?
The eyes have it.
They have it? Yeah. Are you sure?
Yes, you have it.
Oh! Fantastic. Oh my God! We have one view class already on the press. Fantastic. Okay. Right, honorable members. Now we've talked about education. Let's look about another aspect of our youth dynamic. To me, which is sports and entertainment. These things are we're not going to be serious about them just because they pertain to the youth. The attitude is so funny. We begin to wonder, how did you, an adult, an oldie, become there if you were not a youth? You can't transit from baby to being an adult now. So why are you taking these things on serious? For instance, the first time ever we had artists, musical artists, being honored at Aso Rock was when a president looked at his television and saw them being featured on Channel O. Before it was music. That's a thing going for dropouts. That's rubbish. Meanwhile, we have a nation called Sweden. For 25 years of the nation's life, they were a mono economy like Nigeria is a mono economy. What were they exporting? ABBA music. Every village around the whole world, somebody could sing one song from ABBA's music. That was what was feeding that country. Since ABBA as a group, they've grown old, and we don't associate anything with Sweden again. What do you know that this phone is from Japan, what is from Sweden again? It was ABBA feeding them, one group. But here we just, that music. So the musicians are packing in the money into their pockets. Whereas they could have, made it something up to a national level. Some countries like the writers and all that, you cannot move out without the president's knowledge. You are a national treasure. They are very, very deliberate, because each and every edition of your book after winning Nobel Prize, my God, you understand? You've brought something to the country. But here we wait and wait and wait until you change your nationality and go and play football for another guy. Ah, we missed that one. I know the pains I always do when I hear of a guy called Michael Essien from Ghana playing for Chelsea. Ghana? As the next Nigerian knows Essien now, na Calabar name, as we call Calabar name. So Michael Essien may be from Ghana, but there it is. When he was here, did you know him? When he was here, would you let him smell England? It would be Chelsea. Why are we doing this, and what should be done? So let's take that one. Okay, sports and entertainment. The attitude of Nigeria towards youth-based talent.
Yeah, for me, I think when it comes to the youth, yes, the youths are, well, they take it upon themselves, but it behoves on the government. So the government must take responsibility. They must accommodate this this new global age, this innovation of the 21st century world. Gone are the days where the education of the school, the education of the people and their craft is only limited to being a lawyer, being a doctor, being an engineer, being a white collar employee. Right. Yes. So we live in a digitalized world. Look at, for instance, about just a few days ago, Google I'll choose something else, the View tree. And what's it called? It's for what? It's an AI model that makes movies. Now, this is good. Now, the question is, are we thinking of many years we always think of oil. Yeah. Because are we thinking beyond oil? Are we thinking beyond crude oil? You must begin to think beyond crude oil. About a week ago, world leaders, President Trump met with the Prince of Saudi Arabia, and they discuss pertinent issues on technology, on AI, and Africa. The same time again, that same moment, Africa. Yeah, on Africa. Yes, that same time, about 9 tech entrepreneurs met in Dubai to talk about what Africa and technology, AI and Africa as the new frontier. And guess what? Amongst 9 of them, only one is an African. And that African is an American Tanzanian. Hey! So you see, we need to look beyond oil. We need to look beyond this oil. We need to look at the new frontiers. What are the new frontiers? We have entertainment. Of course, Lagos State is doing well. I think Lagos State is one of the states in Nigeria, aside the federal government, that is really looking at other areas. And even in entertainment, in music, in sport, Lagos State is doing quite well. Yes. But now the government needs to look at these areas and say, how do we reform these areas? How do we include this in our national policy? So
you're trying to say that they should give the youths ability or chance to prove themselves, or
more inclusiveness.
Yes.
And more, baby should be more deliberate, take it more serious.
Yes.
Don't always wait until you mean they won Olympics?
Yes.
Then you not call it. Why didn't you train them? Why didn't you provide football pitch, even boot? Nothing. Yeah. So that's what that to me that's the way we should now be looking towards. For instance, have you like you you are here? Have you felt any impact of like any bit of support, like trying to bring you? Okay, let's have even your experience as a youth service member. It became now your suffering continues. It was real now.
Hey, okay,
that's true.
About my NYSC experience, I would say it was exciting, challenging, educative, and it was fun-laced with a little bit of boredom in it. It wasn't as bad as I thought. I often hear some people say it's just a waste of time. I partially agree with them, because aside going to your PPA and weekly CDS, there's nothing more to NYSC. Because for me, it's just how do I put it, like it's just a period of learning to work with people, be able to accommodate different people with different character that they possess, and at a point I got tired of the whole routine and the whole program, because it somehow is quite challenging. However, I wish the program they would create more opportunities for people, such as compiling your NYC with master or master with NYC, let me just put it that way, and posting people to a place that relates to their course of study, not just school or local government. You need to post someone where the person can be more productive. Right. Because you see someone that studies engineer, because, okay, for instance, there's one boy, he studied engineer, they posted him to a school, and they look at a government school for that matter. Now, do you know what, when he went for his PPA, when he went to PPA for his documentation or for them to accept, do you know what they asked the boy? They asked him, can you drive? The boy was like, yes, I can drive. Only for them to look like they told the boy that you're going to be our bus driver. Can you imagine? You'll be driving. No, you'll be driving students to school and bringing him back. Like you study something else and they'll post you to another place. So tell me, how will you be able? Like how will you be more productive when you are not posted to where your field of study, where you study? Rather, they'll post you to another place, and there they'll ask you, can you do this? For you to end up being a bus driver to pick up students from school. So for me, I think they should allocate, or they should post students or post people, graduates, to where their field of study is related to, so they can be more productive and learn a lot from it. Not posting them to some schools or some local government that they are not going to be productive or earn something or learn something from it.
All right. Wow. I mean, that was very, very saddening to hear. I was emotional. It's not right at all. Okay, we're at the top of the hour right now, so the numbers, yes, those are the numbers, thanks to our technical crew, on your screen right now. So you can actually hit the phone. We're waiting to hear from you. You can engage Madam Speaker, you can engage Honorable Prince here, and let's have an idea of how their minds are thinking in line with what the youths have to offer Nigeria as a country. So that's just to let you know you can call in. Well, it's still your program, and we still want to know your view. So those are the numbers, and I please hand myself right back over to Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, with your permission, may I please take our first caller?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, I've lost him. Oh dear. Okay, do well to call back. I have her permission to take your calls, so please do well to call back. Okay, so we've talked about entertainment and that kind of a thing. Let's look further down about the role of parents. Is it conscienceable for a parent who is, your pocket isn't that heavy, and then you're dishing out all these children every year? There's a child coming down. Time we look, we have 7 children. You're unemployed, and your wife, in short, your wife has never even worked. We enter employment, no business, nothing. So is that quite right? But with your permission, madam, may we take our first call?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. Good morning, caller.
Yeah, hello, good morning.
Good morning. You are on to the press parliament. Madam Speaker is here, honorable member is here.
Thank you. My name is Sadiq Abdurrahim, calling from Lagos.
Sadiq Abdurrahim from Lagos, you're welcome. Please, let's have you.
Yes, my contribution is basically on parents. Yes. I believe the parents have a lot of role to play in these issues. Because if you look around you, you see children doing all sorts of things on social media, even on physical life. That is very, very appalling, and it calls for concern. If some parents open their eyes, see all these things going on around them, and you are expecting a better future. So I think the parent has a lot of role to play.
Right.
I've seen parents going to school blaming the teacher for correcting his or her word. And this teacher is not even using pen. Just asking the boy to turn in his shirt. The boy refused. He now said, okay, you keep standing. The next day, the parents who are in school asking for the teacher, that I want to see the teacher, that why would that teacher do that kind of thing to the son? So, please, parents, do a lot. Thank you very much. That's my contribution.
Appreciate it. Right.
Yeah, I agree with him, because nowadays some parents, they are busy with work that they fail to understand or know what their child or what their children want. Because you see parents, they will be so busy that they forget to attend to the need of their children. They don't even know what they want, or they don't even know if am I training them in the right way, or are they going the right way. They'll be like, oh, you are adult, or you can take care of, or hire a nanny that will take care of your children, and you don't know what that nanny is doing behind your back. So to me, I agree with you, like parents should pay more attention to their world, because things are happening now, even in school, things are happening now, because you will see a teacher will correct a child, and you as a parent, instead of you to say, what did my child do, or what did he do, you start flaming up, please next time don't correct my child, this, that. Things are not being done that way. You're supposed to all find out the problem before you now take up actions.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Just to supplement what she said, parents need to, need to look downwards to their children and to their world. And then I also understand that society is a cat race. People are trying to make end meet. Parents, husbands, fathers and mothers are trying to make end meet. But at the same time, we should invest time for our children.
Good morning, moderator.
Right, thank you.
Something from Osun State.
No, Samson, greet all the parliament here first.
Yes, the speaker, I greet you. The gentleman there, I greet you.
Thank you.
That make you a youth, strength you, power you. The grace of God always be with you. Yes, I expect the children, they need the youth there to make a motion to compare all the government to make it possible 26% every budget to go to the education. I expect them to make that motion. And that motion should go to all state assembly, national assembly. They should make that law compulsory. That's my submission.
But so your submission is below the United Nations formula, which is 30%. Why do you want to make it lower when Nigeria even needs to catch up? Oh my goodness, that's the caller. Okay, thank you, Samson from Osun State here. He has taxed you with a motion you can KAFTAN. At the end of our session today, we're going to move a couple of motions. Yes, so, but I just want to, Madam Speaker, may I just contribute on the area of parents, because our young people today are very smart. You can't just go be doing what we know parents and everyone did, like, come on, will you keep quiet? Come on, keep quiet when I'm talking. That's not working any longer at all. We have Pastor Favour Vadalago. You see her up on her screen. She was sharing, and she said, there were these visitors, and she wasn't ready to really handle them. So she see how Pastor Favour there said to her daughter, and she said, look, can you just tell them I'm not around? And Mommy, what? Mommy, why are you lying? Mommy, aren't you lying? And she winked. If you like, wink your eye more. Children of nowadays would have been, Mommy, what is wrong with your eye? Right to almost the person is in the other parlor hearing. Mommy, your eye. Oh my gosh, she was like, these children will not kill me. So we are very smart. So she was sharing that with us. We were all laughing, but come to think of it, it's very true. You're not going to be able this time around, when you lay seeds like that, somebody asked you, tuck in your shirt. That's your proper dressing. Instead of doing that, you wouldn't tuck it in. You said, okay, stand up for the rest of the lesson. You marshaled home to these your parents who came in full steam. Imagine telling my child to stand up when we have executive chair in our houses. You've laid a wrong foundation. So after that, all you're going to get from him is rebellion to authority. And that's how it's going to start until he continues all the way up. He's not going to be able to have a boss in the office. He will be the boss, bossing his boss. So, I mean, you know, things like that. The parents have to be conscious and aware, like Pastor Faith said. Our children now are very smart.
Yes.
You do one, they magnify it.
Yes.
Do 10, they magnify. Then you now turn and say, okay, go and tell such a person that I am sleeping. Mommy, you are talking and you are sleeping.
Or they can be like, my mom said she tell you that I'm sleeping.
That's all. Mommy said to tell you that she's sleeping. Yes. Oh yeah. Let's see what you do next. Keep those calls coming in as we keep our parliamentary session going on, and we're winding down to the final moments of it. So we're just going to take 1 or 2 topics, and then we'll have to go for our motions, and then we'll have to call it a day. So those are the numbers on the screen. Keep your calls coming in as I as a moderator step back and ask Madam Speaker to let's look at the I want you to introduce the topic of the youths themselves, the children themselves, because we've had a whole lot of cases where things go wrong and then people say, oh, you know, my mother asked me to. Let's take, like, you're a woman, let me take, right? You've just finished your NYSC. After a while of working, maybe you want to start your own family. Now, there's probably this young man who had admired you all the way. You both were friends and all that. And then maybe in comes this rich person, maybe from a political family full of free government money. And then your parents say, oh, no, you just got to forget the other guy. You forget him right away. That's this other new person is whom you're going to go for. They will insist. You now go for the new person who is just a careless person. His parents never took care of him, just flash money at him. So he'll probably slap. Everything you just slap. You go, my mommy, I can't stay again. He's always slapping me. You can't stay again. You see? So these things are happening. Say, oh, my mother asked me to go to such a home. Now, what is the role of the youth themselves? Oh, we lost a caller. Oh, please do well to call back. We're here to take your calls as well. But in the meantime, I just want you to chip in there, the role of the youth, the role of the child themselves, especially in situations like we have now, where their parents or society is pressurizing them into what is clearly not really right.
Yeah, I'm talking about in terms of marriage or in terms of...
everything. Maybe in terms of Yahoo. Everybody's doing Yahoo. Why should I bother to look for a job? Let me, put my hand into computer. Well, in terms of everything, this pressure, and then what's your role to resist?
It depends on how you approach the child, or your work, because you can't force someone to do what he or she doesn't want to do. You want to talk to someone, maybe, let's say for instance, nowadays parents choose because that their child will do. Well, this one will be like, man, please, I want to study me. So you say, no, you study this one. And they'll be like, no, this one. So to me, to me, I'll just say that parents should allow their child to do what they want to do, but it's just for you to be there, guide them.
All right. Madam Speaker, with your permission, let me take the call.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. Good morning, caller. You're on to the press, the parliament in the press this morning.
How are you? Morning to you again.
Right. Please greet the house and then let's have your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Umar and I'm calling from Makodi.
Umar, please greet Madam Speaker and the honorable members.
Madam Speaker and honorable, good morning.
Good morning.
From Makodi.
Yes.
Oh, you're welcome. Please go ahead.
Thank you. The topic is role of parents and government, right?
Right. And the youth themselves, eh?
Okay, and the youth themselves.
Yes, sir.
The pressure in the society is much. Do you understand? Nobody celebrates you for being a kind of most knowledgeable person in the state or in your area. What everybody wants to see is what they define as success today is money. So every parent look towards that. They want their parents, their children to get money. They don't care how they take to make that money. Nobody questions you. You understand? So this is a serious problem in the society, and that is what is leading us to all these things that we are seeing today. Permit me to say, like, I'm sorry. Your speaker in the house says something like, somebody read engineering and he was posted to a school, and then he was asked if he can drive. Then he was like, he was given a job of driving for that 1-year mandatory service. That irregularities, you understand, is in every sector of Nigeria, every sector, be it in the banking sector, government, private, all, everywhere. We need to be serious in checkmating all these things, because even in your journalism profession, there are people that they did not read journalism and they did not go for any institution to have little training over of journalism, and they are practicing it today. So it's a difficult thing. We find ourselves in Nigeria in such a society that I just think God should help us, and then we need to, parents need to step up and start all these things, because the charity begins at home. So we need to start all these things from the house.
Okay.
You understand? We should not give much priority to money and consider successful person is a rich man that is only a successful person. We know money is something, but money is not average. You should be able to know this.
Thank you very much, Umar. Thank you for your contribution. Okay, honorable member, sir, we'd like to have your take.
Okay, the caller raised the pertinent point. He mentioned that society now don't ask questions. I mean, a few days back, there was this trending issue on Facebook and internet where a ritual doctor was caught with, you know, trying to kill a minor. Yeah, he was caught, and because he was caught, then it exposed the fact that he is into money ritual. And why is it so? Then you go online, you go on TikTok, you go on Facebook, our influencers, our role model, unquote unquote, are sending a negative signal to the young people, you know, that don't worry, do this thing, be this to do this. The lifestyle that is being propagated online is that of, you know, just have money and hammer and buy a car, and you know, then, and if you look at it critically, the essence of that money is one thing: to flex, to carry women, to drink, and that's all. So we must invest, and this is it here. Society, as a society, we must invest in telling the stories that still propagate that original gospel. Yes, yes, money is good, but how to get the money is also good.
Right.
The end do not only justifies the means, but it also makes the means. It also questions the means. So if the means is bad, then the end is also bad. That for me is my take on that.
Right. Sorry, well, I'm going to have to end this, cut that number off. Don't call us on a private number. We've got to see your number. All right. So please, the caller trying to call in now, open up your telephone line, and then when you call, you identify your name and where you're calling from. So please, I can see you're trying to call us. We can't take the call. It's a private number. Open up your line, and then we'll be right here to take your call. So the numbers are still on the screen. We're winding down at this moment. In fact, as a matter of fact, I think we cannot take any more topics. So I'm just going to, from the floor, just moderate by asking you, Madam Speaker, private number, please open up your line. We're just going to take yours as a last call as well. We have here that that the NYSC should please, not just NYSC, as someone else even pointed out, that let institutions put round pegs in round holes. That's what we want people to be sent to where their talent is what is required. We also have here that we want parents to step up in their role as role models. We have here that the youths, you are to realize that there's more to life than money, and more to what you see on social media. So with those ones, we'll just ask you to please, Madam Speaker, if you are in support, I've written them, so you can just make these three as your motions. So add to the one of step up of education, financing, and then we can call today's session to an end.
Yes, I'm in support of. Let me start with.
You have no vote here. You are rather here to say to we, and he will say. Then you say the eyes on me have it. Simple.
The eyes on it have it.
If you call for it first now, mention
the support of
the reason.
say hi.
I call for the support NYC that they should post people to where they skill or where their cause or is being related to. Does the eyes have it?
Yes, we do.
Call for the names. Call for the names, man. You're cheating. Call for the names first. Ask if the names have it too.
The names have it.
The eyes.
The eyes.
Hit now. Give us down for the eyes. Right. Okay, what will have you? Ask for eyes, ask for names. If the eyes have it, give them. If the names have it, give the names.
Okay.
Right.
Today we have here that parents should step up their role. Parents should step up as role models. Does the eye have it?
Yes, we do.
Does the need have it?
The eyes.
The eyes.
Yes.
And also we have that the youth should. What is this?
Should ignore. And money is not everything. Social media not everything.
Okay, then we have that the youth should. Money is not everything on social media, because some youth they are being influenced by their friends. Does the eye have it?
Yes, we do.
Right. So, Madam Speaker has moved 4 motions today based on our deliberation in the press parliament this morning. We have agreed that in the area of government funding for education, there is a need to step up in order to meet up United Nations bare minimum of 30% for educational funding, because the educational infrastructure leaves much to be desired in many of the states, and the eyes had it on that, and Madam Speaker dropped the gavel for that one. We have for the not just NYC but for all institutions, we have it that we want round pegs in round holes. People's postings should be in tandem with the talent they have to offer, as well as with their training. The eyes had it on that, and she dropped the gavel. That motion was taken. We also have here that parents, they have a role to play. It's not just about the youths and children. We're talking about what are youths and children if not from their parents. So they have a role to play, and they have to step up as role models and not intervening where they shouldn't. Areas where you should intervene, you're very busy running after money. And when the teacher is trying to bring in some discipline to your child, you see the parents come down as tigers. So we have the parents step up your role as role models, and that motion was taken. Once again, the ayes have it, so it was passed. We had another motion where addressed the youths. The youths are to now disengage their minds from this concept that money is everything, which is something the society is trying hard to feed as our new gospel. We say youths should reject it. Money is not everything. Secondly, youths should not believe and try to copy what they see on social media. Social media, some of it, as they say, is packaging. So the youths are asked to please do not take money as everything. Rather, like the honourable member said, and as the Madam Speaker put the gavel down on, we have to go back to our old gospels. If you're a Christian, if you're a Muslim, take your old gospel teaching and follow the path of morality and ethics. It pays. It's just the same thing as you going to an office and you're sad someone asks for bribe. Oh well, he has taken an immoral path, and that's what they're saying we should take. So youths, do not make money as everything. Do not worship social media. And that was taken, the motion, the ayes had it, and Madam Speaker passed it. So I guess on that note, as a moderator today, I will say that today's parliamentary session, we can, one way or the other, say that we have had a very good, successful, we are even faster than the real hospital, so we've passed like 5 bills already. So once again, I think we should congratulate our shadow speaker, Lawal Haruna Saliu, who sat as speaker in the National Assembly from Government Secondary School Kuje. Kudos to him. And we must also give kudos to the speaker himself. It's actually the second time that the Speaker of the House of Assembly, Right Honorable Tajuddin Abbas, has actually honored young Nigerians, because in 2024 he vacated his seat for a 16-year-old girl, a gender-based advocate and activist. Her name is Ezeabata Anani, and she served too as shadow speaker in commemoration of the International Day for the Girl Child. So that happened in October just last year, and once again the speaker vacated his seat for a shadow speaker in the person of Lawal Saliu, just the same way I have vacated my seat for Madam Speaker, who has taken over proceeding. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Favour Oleke. Thank you very much, Honorable Prince Chibuzor and Ezeabata Chibuzor. Thank you very much for being honorable members and for the good work you did justice to all the motions that came before you this morning on this special edition of the press. Okay, you're both going to give in your last word to Nigerians. I'll give you 60 seconds each. Let me start from the honorable member, then Madam Speaker will wrap up.
All right, so my message to Nigerians, particularly youth, is this. You must understand how the world works. We live in a modern world with peculiar challenges and peculiar realities. To be able to compete yourself, because first of all, understand that your contemporary competitors is not the guy in Abuja, not Lagos, but the tech guy in Japan, the guy with access to internet in New York. So therefore, you must have an ideal sense of excellence, and you must understand how the world works. Understand language, literature, finance, technology, economy, policy, and governance. And aside this, build yourself. Public speaking, critical thinking, build yourself and develop yourself. That for me is my 2 kobo this morning. Thank you so much for having me.
What I have for the youth this morning is, please don't be fast in making money, or don't be pressurized that my mates, they are driving cars, or where I am now is not where I supposed to be. And not everything you see on social media, they are real or they are fake. Please just build yourself and know that you are a spec, and you don't need to, or for anybody to pressurize you to do something. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. You're still going to drop one more gavel before we call it a day today. But I'll start by thanking Umar from Makurdi. Thank you very much. Samson from Ocean State. You called. Thank you very much. We have you here. Sadiq Abdullah, you called from Lagos, all across the country. Thank you very much for those calls. Your contributions are well noted, and we are expecting the young ones here will take the baton up and keep the flame flying. I mustn't fail to thank my management here, talking about Mr. Ruben Abati, who gave me the go-ahead for this special session of the press, the Parliament in the press, and it must have been a very, very engaging one if you are a viewer out there. I must thank Bright, who's behind the scenes of making sure all goes smoothly. I must thank Victor. You gave us not just live, but live streaming. A click and we're there. Thank you very much. Thank you, Habib. All the visuals came out clean and clear. Thank you very much. Thank you, our cameraman. I have to thank you, Mr. Sue, in charge of camera. I'm Mikki Attah. It's a beautiful Friday. Thank you very much for investing your time on the press, the last edition for the week, and a special edition. We have the press, the Parliament. That was today's own All for the Youth, and me stepping aside as moderator. It's on that note, I'll just ask one more time, Madam Speaker, we move the motion for you to please declare today's session a close.
I declare today's session a close.
Hit the gavel. Nah.
Bye.
Bye-bye now.